welcome back to the Glimmer Witch. So my last set that I videoed for this year, and this is Katie Lee, and she turned up day before Christmas Eve while I was in the process of doing my own nails, and loved the lipstick shape, so we decided to do hers too. So what I've done is I've removed all of her previous acrylics. I have reshaped the tips that she had underneath, and we are now going in with design. So I've already done my clear base layer, dehydrated, prepped, all that jazz, and we are coming in now with our design. So on this little finger I'm using CJP's coconut milk for that tip, and we are then using Tooth Fairy, also by CJP, and we are then using Snow Globe as a thin wash over the top of that ombre. So I thought I'd do this and leave this ombre in. So you get that white on first, blend it back, and now I'm just tidying it up, patting and pressing it out. You will notice it is the wrong hand yet again. I forgot to film when I was doing the left hand. So we've got that white coconut milk. Coconut milk is a beautiful, beautiful white to use. I've said it before, it's so easy. So another wettish bead on there, get it onto that midway point. I'm just going to pull it down to cover that nail. This shape is one of those shapes that's going to be a Marmite. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Me, I love it. And I chose that shape because I'd seen a set by another nail tech, and I wanted something different, so that hence why I ended up choosing it. But my niece saw it and loved it too, so why not? Dare to be different, one of the hashtags that I use on Instagram. So that Tooth Fairy, that first bead goes on at that join area and we blend it down. That second bead goes on at the cuticle and we tuck it in. It's not the best angle because I very hastily set my camera up on the opposite side. And that's the Snow Globe. I've got a thin layer of Snow Globe over the top of that. I then come in with crystal glass and cap the whole thing. Now usually when I do ombre, I would do all of the white tips first, or the base colour first, and let them all dry. I didn't on this occasion, I'm not sure why. And then on this second finger we are doing, I think, a full finger of coconut milk. So getting that first bead on there, getting that cuticle nice and neat. I apologise that I've got my hand in the way, so you can't really see what I'm doing, but you know, thought I'd edit it anyway and get it up. And then I've got some room to go through my hand dolly hand. I didn't specify when I ordered my hand dolly whether I wanted a left or right hand, so I've actually been sent a left hand. That's fine. So you can see I've got a small dot of something stuck in that white acrylic at the cuticle. Not too fussed. So just removing that bit that I've squished underneath the nail. And you can see from my fingers I've got one hand of bases done, and the other hand is bare. But I wanted to get Katie Lee's nails done out of the way because they were the last ones to do before I did my own. I also, sorry, that's a lie, I also did my mum's nails as well, but I didn't video those. So coconut milk, Tooth Fairy, Snow Globe, and the finished set on these we have one finger with stamping on and one finger with that dripping snow effect. So on this finger we're doing that Snow Globe over the top. It's such a pretty colour, it really is. So this finger, I think, yes, this finger has the snow. Or does it? I can't remember now. That's what happens when you record and then you edit it days later. So I'm just trying to get edited. So I've run back to the cabin just to let my dogs out. Go back in. Come on, Pepper. In. Pepper. Yeah, she's going to listen. Pepper, here. Okay, she'll come back in a minute. So on this finger, we're also doing that ombre. So that coconut milk goes on first. We blend it back and we pour the rest of the product down the nail. This shape, I absolutely love it. Something different. I really do like it. But that was the purpose behind me getting the hand. Not because I need practice doing nails. I don't get a lot of time to practice because I'm quite full. You know, I have quite a lot of work. But it was more to try different shapes that clients potentially probably wouldn't have. So there's my bead of Tooth Fairy. And we're going straight in at the cuticle with that one. Tucking it in around the cuticle and then putting it down the sides. Look how beautifully that blends. Coconut milk is so easy to blend with lots of colours, even ones you think they probably wouldn't. But as I said, we are going to be using that snow globe over the top, so it doesn't need to be a perfect blend. But I am building my apex as I go. On her index finger, that is colour left over from her previous set. It is not a bruise or anything like that. So going in with a second bead, just to intensify that colour at the cuticle, and then we're going to blend that into the back of it, into the rest of it. In. So yeah, just in case you're curious, my son and daughter-in-law have a little cabin at the bottom of their garden, which is where we stay when we come and visit. I absolutely love it. It's so quiet here. So on that index finger, we are doing a full finger of that Tooth Fairy. All products are CJP products, obviously. I'm using my Tracy Lou size 10 brush. It is a little bit difficult filming this hand just because my hand does get in the way quite a bit. So I'm sorry it's a bit pants, but I just wanted to get it up and get it done so I could then do the unboxing. Although I have unboxed the hand, obviously. I got it for Christmas Day, but yeah, I wanted to show everybody what was in it. I'm absolutely so impressed with it, so I want to do that next. And unusually for me, I did not bring acrylic product with me, so I can't actually use it until I get home. But that was done on purpose. I would rather spend the time with my family playing Monopoly or Uno or watching films, whatever it is. And it's so beautiful up here. We very often go for walks and stuff as well, so it's so nice. So just building that structure a little bit more on that pink finger. Her thumb will also be a ombre. Such a pretty pink as well, Tooth Fairy. It just reminds me of sweets so much. I will say this video is in real time except for the filing, which I did in, I think it's time and a half. And a thumb again, that is product on her nail, not bruising. In the background you can just see a little tip holder with a tip on it. So this is the story behind this. Katie Lee is my niece and she has her nails very long, and the last time we did her a set, about a week and a half after she had them done, she fell over with a hoover and snapped her little finger nail, and it's actually pulled the whole nail off her bed, so she can't have a nail on that finger. So when she came back, we took her old acrylic off. She'd already snapped it, so we took off the remaining acrylic, and obviously her nail is not attached apart from at the cuticle, so I couldn't put her a nail on there, so we chopped it down as short as we possibly could. I gave her some tape to tape it up, but I also gave her this little full cover tip which I made to match the other nails so that Christmas Day she can use a little bit of nail glue. She has strict instructions to remove it and to let it keep it wrapped up, because she is going to lose that nail. So if it manages to hang on at the cuticle end, she will just keep cutting the length down until it starts growing out again. But she's not going to be able to tolerate weight on it, so the tip is purely a cosmetic thing. It's not for constant wear. It happens, unfortunately. You know, we're a danger to ourselves. So these are actually shorter than what she would normally have. So yeah, I just did her a fake nail to use for Christmas Day, Boxing Day. But look how beautifully that ombre's in. I mean, it's a bright pink acrylic. You would not think that would blend in so well as it does. And like I said, I normally do all of my white on my ombres and then go and do the pinks, and I didn't in this case. But we're just popping that snow globe over the top there, using my brush to shape those sides while the acrylic is mouldable. And once we are done, we then go back and cap all of those nails that I haven't already done. Make sure our structure is where we need it. And I really enjoyed doing these nails. See, she's so good, look, moves her fingers out the way and everything. So there's not a lot of work required really. It's a nice easy set, it's a nice easy process. And just make sure we've got that strength where we need it. See, she's so good, she just moves her fingers out the way, bless her. So just get that acrylic on, swipe down the sides, and then just pull the product over the rest of the nail, and just check from every angle. Make sure you've got your strength where you need it, that your apex is high enough for the length of the nail. If you are unsure, add a little bit more. So I just add a little bit of a dip on there, so we're just filling that in, and then onto the thumb. So as pointed out before, it's actually a lot easier for you to see the structure of the nail if I do it from the side like this. So I shall be working on that angle when we get back. And I always find that holidays like this, when you have a bit of a big break, I always tend to come back with a new, renewed sense of, what's the term? I come back with an idea of where I want to improve. And there's still so much for me to improve on, so I'm still going to be working on shaping. That's a real big thing for me. I'm not going to finish until I get that sharp finished look that I'm hoping for. I have sped the filing up, as you can see, but we're sticking to that usual filing routine. If you file every single nail the same way, you will get the same shape. So side walls, free edge, round the cuticle, down the other side, up the sides of the nail, and then the barrel of the nail. And if you go back and start again, repeat the whole thing again. It's the best way to get uniformity. God, that's a big word, isn't it? After 2 days of drinking quite a lot of alcohol, that's pretty good going. So once I've finished filing, I then buff each nail as I go. And I have left the, I haven't left the stamping in on this set, but I did leave the sugaring effect. Not that you can really see it because my hand gets in the way, but I do try. In the background you can see I've got a cheap little brush there, which is out of a cheap set I did, and I've got my CJP Tiny Touches brush, which I use to do the sugaring effect. So although I've sped this up and it looks like I'm going horrendously fast, I'm not. It is just because it is speeded up. The camera's struggling to focus. But I really enjoyed doing this shape. Let me know what you think. I think it's one of those, I like to be different. So for me, when I did my nails, I didn't want to do, I've done Christmas nails, I didn't want to have Christmas nails, I wanted something completely different. So and this is what happens when you do your own nails and you have stuff on, people will turn up and go, oh, I like what you've got on your nails, can I have that? So it's a very good way of advertising what you can do, and that is why I very often have 2 different designs, even styles and shapes on each hand, because it's maximum advertising for me. So I very often have on my nails stuff that I wouldn't actually personally want. They're just things I want to try out, and that's where having the hand will now come into use, because it means that if I do get hold of some competitions to do, I've got time then to do them on the practice hand, and it's so realistic looking. It also means that I haven't got a rush. In the past I've had to get someone in, and you know, it's difficult to get someone to sit for 12 hours while you do a set of nails, and there are so many shapes I want to try. I really want to have a go at Gothic almonds, Russian almonds, you know. I have no idea what I was explaining there. I think, if I can remember rightly, it's possibly about the fact that I felt the lipstick shape would work for me, because I very often file that corner of my thumb away anyway, so having it at the angle meant that I might not file my finger away. No idea. Been asleep since then, a couple of times. Cheeky afternoon nap today. We had a very quiet day today, so yeah, I went back to bed. Had a read, which is secret talk for having a sleep. Because if I lay down to read, I'm going to fall asleep. It happens every time. So we're just filing those nails in, making sure we get that shape as good as we possibly can. Once we are happy with that, I will then top coat all of the nails apart from the white one, which the finger that we're going to do the stamping on. I top coat the one I'm going to do the sugaring on, because obviously I don't want to have to try and top coat it afterwards, because we want the sugaring to be matte. So I do that afterwards, but I don't show that. So I'm just tidying up that white acrylic there. So we're coming to the end of the video. So basically I then buff all of the nails, I top coat them, I then come in with my brush and do the sugaring, and at the end of the service we wipe all that over and apply cuticle oil. That's my buffer. My buffers come from CJP. I really like the shape of these ones, especially if you struggle with arthritis in your fingers. They're a nice shape to use, so that's why I use them. I find holding a white block makes my fingers hurt so bad. So we just buff all of those over. You see there, look, sidewall, get that shaping in, free edge. I'm just getting rid of that bit of a lump that we've got going on. And once I'm happy, we then top coat all the nails, cure them for 60 seconds, and with the stamped nail I actually cure for 30 seconds, bring it back out, and then cure it again for another 60. And then on this one we're just using white gel polish. We're just applying that around the cuticle area into drips, and we are then going to use that Snow Globe powder to fix it. And that is the set. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I shall be back very soon.